Oh yeah, I can really put away the moonshine, let me tell you. Now I'm just kidding, this is just some cold water I brought from the house. I've been trying to drink out of glass and less plastic these days. Trying to go more natural. That's what this In the Bush thing's all about anyway, right? Going more natural. So, okay, we're here at the cabin. It is now August. This summer's flying by. Time is just flying by like crazy, as it always does. And we're already into August. And I've told myself several times that this cabin gets a tin roof before I do any of my other bushcraft projects. This cabin's getting a roof. So this video might span the course of several days, but I happen to have several days in a row off. It's too hot to do any camping. Way too hot to do any camping. I'm going to start going through boards, pulling the nails out of them, cleaning them up, taking inventory, making sure I got enough to do the ladder trusses on each end of the gable ends of the roof. This is going to span the course of several days, obviously, but I figured in the meantime, we'll have a fire going each evening and we'll cook something really scrumptious. So, should be a lot of good food in this video. Enjoy. Well, good news. I went through all the boards, pulled all the nails out of them, and I think there's plenty of lumber here to get our ladder trusses done for the gable end. This is it for today. Got a late start. I think it's about time to relax by the fire for a little bit and get some grub going. Okay, so I was sitting out there next to the fire, letting it die down just a little bit so I could put the Dutch oven over it, get supper cooking, you know. And I heard the telltale ee in my ear. This, basically from May to October in southeast Iowa, it's a pretty much uninhabitable land because of ticks, mosquitoes, flies, bees, hot weather. Stinking miserable. Anyway, I want to try this. This is the thermocell. Supposed to put a 15-foot radius around your campsite. So we're going to unbox this bad boy. Or hopefully, with any luck, I can not get 8 alive. So, oh, okay, so the other night when I was hammock camping, they were biting me through the underside of the hammock. The whole entire back of my legs, my butt, my back, everything was completely ate up by mosquitoes. So, yeah, it was a pretty bad deal. That was relatively easy. All we did was slide the mosquito repellent mat in there, pulled off the bottom cover, screwed in the butane cartridge, put the lid back on, turn the switch to on, wait 5 to 10 seconds, and then it says click it 3 to 5 times. I think it already went. I am sauteing some bacon. We're going to get this show on the road because we're going to have a sort of a casserole that I'm going to make. It's sort of a green bean casserole. So we got all kinds of stuff going into this. Let's get to cooking. All right, well, supper has been made. It was so hot cooking over the fire. I'm so hot. I am just so miserably hot. But there are some good things about summertime, and that is all the fresh garden vegetables. This meal consisted of bacon, some onions, some locally grown green beans, and some locally grown Yukon Gold potatoes. Some mushroom stock I used that was from some maitake mushroom that I got from Adrian from My Morel Madness, which is a wild mushroom that grows around here. And then I added a little cream to make kind of a cream of mushroom, just like you would do when you're making green bean casserole. And then I added, of course, my SPG seasoning. I also added a little bit of my turkey bouillon that I made, which is called portable soup. So I added that to it to flavor it up, and then I sprinkled the top with some, some crispy onions, and then I cooked a steak right over the fire. Now let's talk about that. I cooked the steak right on the coals. Caveman style, I believe they call it, but it gives you a great sear on your steak. And if you do it right, you don't get a whole bunch of dirt or, charcoal or anything on your steak. It actually works out quite well. You can actually grill your steak. If you've got a nice hot bed of coals, you can actually throw that steak right on those coals and cook it that way. And then we got some locally baked French bread. So this meal should not suck. Let's see what we got here. I'm eating right out of the Dutch oven because it's just me. So anyway, I'll catch y'all in a few. I'm gonna gorge on this. That was delicious. I couldn't finish it all. What a good casserole. Real simple. Back at the house, ladies and gentlemen, I keep my air conditioning on 62. It's as low as it'll go. I can't stand the heat. Call me weird. I know a lot of it's because I'm fat, but 62 in my house during the summer. Ooh, yeah. Today is a much better day than yesterday. Yesterday was very, very humid. It was like 83 to 86 degrees, I think was the high. But it was, a dew point up in the 78 or something incredible like that. It was extremely hot. It didn't cool down at night. It didn't matter whether you were in the sun or the shade. There was no breeze, no nothing. Today, it's 89. It was 90 just a little bit ago, but we've got a dew point of 68, which is still uncomfortable. But you can tell a huge difference when you walk into the shade. There's a little bit of a breeze going, and I mean, it's just incredible. Yesterday, I was dumping water over my head just to try to stay cool, and it wasn't doing anything because it wasn't evaporating. Today, we have what's called evaporative cooling, which is why we sweat. And today, I don't need to dump water over my head because as I sweat, it evaporates and cools me off. Plus, I find when it's less humid, it's just less buggy. So totally a better day. We're gonna get started on the cabin. Well, this makes me very happy. I'm exactly where I wanted to be. I'm right on schedule. I've got an overhang on both ends now. Super happy about that. The next step will be putting nailers down for the tent itself, boards that go across. And that I'll have to remove the tarp for. Well, I'm going to cook up the last of the brats from Sonny's Supermarket that I got in episode number 39. Check that one out. That was Hibachi in a Van episode. That was a good one. I'm going to cook up a few of these bad boys. Well, one thing I'm learning from Steve Wallace is fresh baked buns. Fresh baked bread. I've been eating locally lately. But one of the things I'm doing, instead of eating bread that is still good after 2 months and not moldy, that's a sign that I probably shouldn't put that in my body. Instead, I've been getting fresh stuff. Here we go. It's a good brat, but these particular fresh baked buns are not all that fresh. They're crumbling, they're stale. I think I heard Steve Wallace say in one of his videos that he only eats bread that was made that day. That'd be tough to do. Alright everyone, let's have a quick chat before I head back to the house. Thermacell. No good. I still had mosquitoes buzzing in my ear, biting my ankles. I swatted and killed several mosquitoes while I was out there, while I was just sitting there waiting for the coals to die down enough to cook the brats. I had the thermocell just a little bit upwind from me, just like the directions said to do, and it was working, but it wasn't working at repelling mosquitoes. So the thermocell, it's kind of funny because I have read a ton of reviews and watched YouTube videos about it and everything else, and I mean, we're talking you know, avid campers, people like Steve Wallace that use the thermocell, but it didn't work for me. I'm just saying, I killed several mosquitoes, had them buzzing in my ear. It just did not work for me. Maybe it's a faulty one. I don't think so. I don't know. The little flame was going inside of it. I am a mosquito magnet, though. I will say that I must have the right blood type O or whatever it is, because I am definitely a mosquito magnet. And I mean, they will just it's not unusual to have hundreds of mosquito bites on my body after a camp out or something. I mean, just like to the point where I'm going to end up with malaria or something. Really disappointed because all these famous campers use this and recommend it, and it doesn't work for me. And I'm finding this with a lot of products. You know, for example, the bedroll cook set, and there's a lot of different things that all these guys rant and rave about and they just love, and then when I get it, it don't work. So I guess the moral of the story there is you have to try it for yourself and see. I guess everybody's experience might be a little different. All I can say is finally, we've got a nice cool day. Coolish. It's still like 83 or something, but it's overcast. It's humid, but not ridiculous. The air just feels nice. I'm gonna get some things done today, and you'll notice that it's pretty overcast. We've been in a drought. They were calling for rain today, but most of the rain chances dwindled to not much at all. So I figure I'm gonna end this drought that we're in by exposing the roof of that cabin. Here we go. Let it rain. I am done for the night. I got what I wanted to get done, and then some. My goal for today was to get the all the nailers in place and get the reflectix on, and that's exactly what I did, and it worked really well. What I did was the tarp I got laying over the roof, you know, I just flipped one side over and worked on that side, and then when I was finished with that side, I flipped the tarp over on the other side and worked on that side, and then I just put the tarp back over the reflectix. Tomorrow's Tuesday, got my radio show. Then Wednesday, I'm coming back here to the cabin, and I'm going to start slinging tin. We'll get her one step at a time. Every great journey starts with one single step. Well, here we are. It is go time. Today is Wednesday. My buddy is going to be here in a little bit. He's going to help me out. And we're going to do a good old-fashioned barn raising here and get this tin on the roof. All right, it is a beautiful night. It's like 63 degrees out. My buddy to the point just left. It's rather late, and I just want to thank him, give a big shout out to him for he climbed around on the ladder and everything. It just made sense. He weighs about half as much as I do, so it just made sense for him to be the guy on the ladder and me the guy on the ground. And but I felt bad because I feel like he did 90% of the work today. So that's not really what I was going for. I didn't mean for somebody to come here and do all my work for me. But I will say this, I couldn't have done it by myself. At least not that easy. I would have had to have tried to grab the tin, climb up the ladder with the tin in my hand. You know, it's just so much better that I had somebody here to help me. But it's just such a beautiful night. I'm going to take advantage and hit the hay. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Oh, it's going to be a rough day. I'm going to get straight to the point. And I'm just going to go ahead and end this video here because it's going to be a few days before I can get back to the cabin. And when I do get back, then I plan on trimming the tin, putting the extra pieces on, and filling some of the holes and stuff. So, but for now, we're okay. No rain in the forecast, of course. And so we'll be fine for a couple days. Then I'll come back here and I'll have more time to work on it. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Their cabin officially has tin on it, and I'm so thankful. We'll see you next time in the bush.